you know how I present myself here, how I aspire leadership when I'm speaking right now. You can already confirm that this person, he can be able to articulate the stance of the students and also ensure that we advocate for the aspirations of the students. But
No, I
if
don't think
a
it's the
person
same case.
you can't even. You know why?
I feel like things like this should be done publicly, man.
Yeah, there must be transparency.
Whereby if you're getting that 1.3 million, say guys, we got the 1.3 million, this is what we're going to do, what and what and what and what and what, and this is what is going afterwards when everything is done.
Yeah,
you
by
know-
the
Can
way,
I-
they
wait,
create,
can I just
they
do
create,
this? I'm
they
so
create
sorry.
their
For something
own.
practically,
Can
you
I-
must just go to their page or WhatsApp group or find someone on WhatsApp group and check house committees.
Being goal orientated, whereby you want to achieve dreams.
Is for you to bring them back to perspective on their value and their worth.
I thought you were repeating. They're waiting.
Okay.
Welcome back to another episode, part 2. Guys, we saw the pots were getting heated and we decided to cook again. So if you didn't watch the previous episode, make sure that you go and watch the previous episode. You will get more context. But now we won't go back to that. We're getting siyaqhubeka. Yeah. So live on your screen, uMongo Nyathi lo uthamba khulu kuqedako Madlanga Kezi. Umakeza ngelibisi, and I'm not walking alone again. I'm walking with Umaya, the screen lady.
Sunny Bonani.
She was also the host,
Hi, Bo.
but now she's the screen lady and the ghost lady. Are you good?
I'm great. And yourself?
I'm good. Welcome back, gents. I think I've done an introduction for you. I'll cut straight to the chase, man.
Yeah.
Before, I think after we shot, you raised something that was so important, man. You spoke about the millions that were missing, but they were found. And it wasn't announced. Good, the millions were found. And what happened after the millions were found? Because we announced here on the podcast, the viewers don't know what they have found.
Is it the 1.3?
1.3 million, yeah.
It was found.
Aibo.
Can you tell us?
You are putting words in my mouth. I never said they were found. You
They were spotted. Okay?
I never said they were found.
Okay.
I wanted to be honest. I also now I don't even know what happened on those 1.3 million. I think it was 2022, 2023. I was not even an active comrade at that time.
Okay, which one was
Yeah,
found then? The one.
No, it was just a matter of questioning Uguti last year. What happened also to that donation? Because
Okay.
But was it ever accounted for? Did anybody account as to what, not necessarily
No.
what happened, but what was the money used for?
no one. It just perished.
Where did the money come from, Leah?
So
Tulipi?
yeah, so like every year, Motsepe Foundation actually donates
Yes, that we know.
imali to universities. So Cput, scandals regarding these donations and whatsoever. So allegedly last year a report was never sent back to imali yenzeni. So Cput basic like it might happen I told it this year that foundation because there was no report that was submitted by the SRC of last year.
Oh.
So even that we don't even know what happened to that money. Yeah, bon?
So they paid Tulipi and then they took it back. That's why
I
Tulipi
don't know what you're talking about. Like
Now I know, Chief. The deposit wasn't depositing because they paid the deposit for booking. Conclude pela for the performance.
like sisazibuza namanje ukuthi like what's happening this year?
No, man.
'Cause
I'm so
The
sorry.
donation came through, but usually
It came through.
It came through.
How?
Usually they post there on the social media as the president going there to fetch that check. But this year, as long as nix.
Also, regarding, I don't know, I'm just remembering a conversation that I had with someone regarding the Motsepe Foundation. I think I was inquiring for myself. And this person said that if you want them to pay your previous debt, then you have to not be in the institution. Does it work like that?
I don't know the terms and conditions of that, but what I know would our leadership ngesiZulu ithini bangogombela kwesakhe. So what
No.
usually happens ukuthi these leaders or comrades, they will actually pay for their friends.
Okay. Ibana.
Yeah, well, but like this, my figure name, a certain amount, a portion, yeah, allocated. This one goes to a bursary for a student that need to register or by financially blocked. You see, so
How do you get even that bursary? If you
that's
financially
the thing.
blocked?
Nothing is buza yona ukuthi
Where's the
itholwa
information
abanjani?
about all these things, guys?
Yabo?
Like,
That's the same question.
we shouldn't
We
we shouldn't only get posts and news flashes about voting. I think we should also get the poster and news flash would say, guys, go and apply for that bursary there. The money is coming.
Yeah, I thought my student will be interested to this thing like more good. Since okay, the EFF allegedly they were accusation good it's missing what that one they will be interested every year good that donation.
How much is it this time around? Is it still 1.3 million?
Still 1.3 million.
Hey, that's the 1.3 million low. Hey, there was
So
also
like yo,
there was also rumors about EFF YC now. They said the time they got it, they remember a lot of people saw a status of them partying.
Mina, I want, can we please first get clarity as to this, because it's a donation. What exactly does it pay towards? Like, I get it, Motsepe donates this money to the university, right? Saying what? Saying what to the university when donating this money? What is he saying the university must use the money for?
So when you donate, I will also pass it to a colleague. When you donate, you don't give that person ukuthi ayenze. You're donating when.
Yeah, but I get it. There are those.
But the
there are
institution
donations.
inendlela they isebenzisa ngayo. As I've said, ukuthi they actually, yabo.
Okay, let me
75%
rephrase.
goes to this, maybe 25% goes to that.
Can
but
I
these are
rephrase my
explained.
question?
Yeah, you can.
What is the institution using these funds for? Like, students want to know this Motsepe Foundation. What is the Motsepe Foundation using? What is the institution using this Motsepe Foundation for? Is it to benefit the students or to benefit the institution itself? What is it for?
Well, I can answer that one. Fundamentally, it's to eradicate the student debts,
Okay.
so that the students they are able to accumulate their qualifications when they are done with their programs, their courses. So the SRC gets to be the man in the forefront in terms of utilizing those budgets and everything. Then after utilizing those budgets, it's used to settle student debt. So now at some point, the way they utilize those budgets, it goes to say, who are you associated with and whatnot. If I'm associated with you, and then I'm the SRC president or I'm an
So
SRC
now
whatsoever,
nepotism is
then
in
now
play.
I'm going to settle your student
But-
debt and all of
So
those things. So
nepotism is at play.
Yeah.
is this nepotism. So they do not really announce to say, no, this is the kind of money that you have now, and then this is how we are going to actually allocate it or gather the details of the students who are going to be.
Can I safely say that only the people that are affiliated with political people are going to get the benefits?
Not at all instances, I'm speaking about this current thing because if you are honest and if you are honest in this regard, you would say, no, this is the money that you have. Now, can you have a list of students who have got historical debts? We want to clear the historical debts. And then they are going to do the scrutiny themselves after that, So it is possible, it's highly possible, that if you are not associated, you do not have associates who are in power, then you are going to be stranded at some point.
Do you know what's my concern?
I have a follow-up question. I'm so sorry, Melus. So, according to like a source, right, that is with a certain political party, which is not yours, the colors are green. Yes. According to that person, this money is only allocated to people with, historical debt, right? But also a specific group of people that have the historical debt. So goes to say people that owes more. I don't know what more is because debt is debt at the end of the day. So when the person says more, and then also people that cannot pay their registration fee. Because I don't think the registration fee at Cput is that intense that you are unable to register yourself. Because So are those really the categories, or is it a category that he chose to put there because it suited him and his party, or like?
No, as I've said, the SRC becomes the custodian of the money in terms of like allocating. They are the one who collect the data of the students and everything. So they are the ones in the forefront to say, okay, who are the people that are allocating this budget for and all of those things, So this one of registration fees, I don't know about it because a registration fee is just 780. And
Anybody can pay
they don't not say anyone can afford it because we come from different backgrounds.
But it's easy
But you can
to
be able
come
to
out
you
to
can
say
register without
yes.
paying that money. That's not an excuse that it funds those people. Yeah, well, so basically, this is what it's for. So if you have a political organization that is in power and also conscious and know what it represents for, that political organization is going to ascertain that there's no mismanagement of those funds. And after that, there is a report that must be gathered, then sent back to the Motsepe Foundation to say this is how we utilized the money and all of those things.
Do you know what I feel? I feel like I'm partly also understanding why some of the students are being ignorant. Don't get me wrong, but it's the fact that most of the political parties, when things like this come into play, when like benefits like this come into play, they are not spoken about like loudly as loud as they speak when
About
it's time to
voting.
vote. Yabo. So some of the people are thinking, no, they only they only call for our help
When it's
or
time to
tell us,
vote.
when they want our input or our votes. But when it's something like this where we have to benefit, it's done in the corners, man, and you find out about it when it's long time over.
So, what I can say about that, the current political party that is currently leading, they've been feeding the students propaganda for the longest of time.
Yeah.
So whenever a party enters, then what they do is to say, I know, if they want to delegitimize it from the student, to say, I know these ones have done this and that and that and so forth. So that's one of the things that kills the political activism within the university and also the trust of students towards continuing voting. Because if this kind of things happen each and every now and then, even myself, I'll get tired of saying, why am I voting? Because after all these things happens and then there's nothing whatsoever is being done. There are funds that are being injected to the SRC, like in terms of their cost budget. They also receive huge amounts of money. 1.3 million is just nothing.
cool.
There's a lot
There's
of
another
money that
millions
is
behind that.
that is being ejaculated like in the cost of the SRC. That's why they do patches, for them to do programs, not for self benefits or ecocentric benefits. It's for them to conduct programs, do as what you call prayers, exam prayers, which we don't see now. Bashes,
Even
all
food
programs
vouchers,
that
everything
seeks
is
to
disappearing.
is all program of what you call 1 meal per day, all of those kind of programs that are progressive. So even right now they receive the budget of which it's about 6 million, if I'm not mistaken. And our stance as the EFFYC, we just said, because we understand very well that there are so many students who are engulfed with student debts.
Yeah.
So what must happen? At least half of that money, because we know they're just going to spend it recklessly, and there's some mismanagement of funds of which they do not they do not account for. So at least what they must do, because they are just going to allocate those monies to the SRC, the local SRCs. It's from the central, then it's allocated to the local SRCs for them to also conduct programs. All of these programs that are being made, Bona, they request not that it comes directly to them, but it's the mismanagement. It's not with mhlambi that we account yomuntu kanje ukuthi ayibone nansi, yabo, but it's the mismanagement of funds. They are doing exactly what is being done, what we're speaking about in the previous podcast of that 22 I mean 2 million 22 laptops. So you will find out that the service provider has got a relationship with the MEC of education, which is Kathy Dlamini. You'll find out he has got a relationship. So now, out of that 91,000, you'll find out that laptops, they are not even costing 91,000. Perhaps they're costing 15 as we're speaking. So the other money let's say they go and you know and spend it the other way around, you know. So those are the things ezenzakalayo, not ukuthi like it just comes kanje, yabo.
Do you know
And
what?
some of the things I of which I usually say no, they are not some things that I need to be engaged, like you know, is like these ones of monies, because there are so many funds that are being like put into the university and everything, you know. Like you don't discuss, it's them who sits there and take those decisions. Tina, what we want to know what did they do with those monies and all of those
Do you
things.
know what I want to say? I feel like you guys. I'm not going to be biased here. I'm putting.
Sure.
What's wrong? Is it? I feel like I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to speak on all the platforms. Ne? So I feel like you guys are working for the people. You're not working for profits. You're not working to. This is not a business, man.
Sure,
If the people vote for you and put you in that position, they trust you with the decisions that are going to affect them, like we said on the previous episode. So I feel like things like this should be done publicly, man.
Yeah, there must be transparency.
Whereby if you're getting that 1.3 million, say guys, we got the 1.3 million, this is what we're going to do, what and what and what and what and what, and this is what is going afterwards when everything is done. This is what happened. We paid for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then this is what was left of the money. What does the public think we should do with this? Should we keep it, invest on something? That's what other organizations outside of even South Africa are doing, and that's why we see a lot of growth in countries like China, countries like the States, because they have a system that's working for them. Because now it's seen like everyone, when they get there, you do your thing, and after, no one is going to hold you accountable, because it's like you have an opportunity, man, to collect and put in your pockets, and no one is going to notice because anything is missing there, because you're going to eat with the people you are with in that room, and as long as everyone is eating, up until that one person is not fed, that's when now it's going to be spoken about. There are a lot of things that are hidden that we don't know about in the political spaces. But I mean, what I'm trying to fight for, you can eat the money, it's fine. But let be
fine.
movement.
It's not fine. It's not. Don't eat.
Because
Why
you
are you
can't
eating the
stop
money? It's not
it
yours
at this point.
But let's call it for what it is. It's not yours. You are being corrupt. You are stealing from the students. That's what they are doing. It's theft. It's theft.
I like what this guy said, man. This guy, Dr. Rose. He said that people in the political spaces, they shouldn't put business-minded people there. It's not a business space. It's a people's community, societal space. It's like you're taking care of the community, because now the gap we're fighting between the political space is supposed to help people fight the gap between
the
rich and
the
poor.
Yeah.
But it seems like the gap now, they are the one that they are creating the gap to be much more lengthier or to grow. Because when they get there, they eat and they forget with the project that we delegated there for them to do. There were people that were supposed to eat. There were jobs that were supposed to be out there, opportunities. But those jobs are not there now. Who's going to provide that meal to that family? That's why even the unemployment rate is increasing.
Yeah.
They are the same people that are increasing the unemployment rate.
But like some questions, Mina, I just like to ask, like, do people consider learning from like the next person, right? Like we were mentioning Jemina, for example. Do people consider taking from the things that she's doing in her way of leading, and then just coming back to like a broader perspective, because you mentioned unemployment. You do know that unemployment is only like a problem in the rest of South Africa, just not in the Western Cape. The Western Cape has such innovative ideas to make sure that the unemployment rate is as low as it can be. Just alone this year, the increase of employment rate was up to 10%. That is big. That is big compared to the rest of the country. So now the question is, are we electing people that we know are going to work for us? When we elect that Pasma chairperson, do we know that person? Going back to the thing that we were saying in the previous episode, that we don't even know.
Who elected?
who these people are.
I like that question.
We don't
and
know them.
I want to tell you guys that many, I can say, elect the Real Tribe coffee that you know is not gonna disappoint you. It's always hot, always creamy, and always smooth. The natural cup. Make sure that you get a description down below, guys. Also, don't change that screen and watch that ad. Yes, Patal. Students, it pains us to know that 80% of you haven't subscribed to the channel. So we would like to ask you, whether you are a student, a lecturer, or professional working class, please hit the subscribe button down below. And just by that small act, you're going to be helping us to being the biggest student platform in the continent. So can you please subscribe and share the channel to more people, and we promise to give you the most valuable content that you've ever experienced and give you the best guests that you can. Thank you so much. Welcome back, guys. Mayu actually had a question before.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, Wuti, like when we electing the SRC, are we electing individuals, independent individuals, or are we electing like a political party? What's happening there?
Oh, okay. So, the way the SRC is structured, according to the Constitution, a political party contest, and then in the central SRC, when you are voting in the central SRC, you are given an option of a political party, not an individual. And then when you are voting on the local SRC, you are given the name of that individual and also the logo of that political party that person belongs to.
Yes.
So in the central SRC, after elections are done, they utilize what is called the drop quota system in terms of calculating how many seats one has, because there are 8 seats in central. So they then calculate out of those 8 seats, how many people across Cput, because when you are voting that central, everyone votes for that political party. And then you calculate how many seats perhaps the EFF has got according to the number they received out of the total number of votes, So as still stands, things stand right now, the SRC, the EFF have got 3 seats in central, which is the deputy president, the student support officer, and also the international relations office. So then Pasma have got 4 seats. Then 1 seat goes to SASCO.
Okay.
Then SASCO is occupying Secretary General currently.
Marasasco is not doing anything.
And then no, it's the drop quota system, the way they calculate it. Hence why they are able to receive a seat. They always, what they do when they go to elections, you'll see them coming. They just want 1 seat.
The one that's Secretary General.
Then when they go there, they're going to be a decider. Hence why they are occupying such a huge position, which is a member of a council, Secretary General. Every time they are able to procure themselves a seat that is very important in the SRC. And then Pasma took the president, they took the treasurer, they took...
No wonder why money is going missing.
Yeah, they took president, the treasurer, and ETO, and also, who's that one I'm forgetting?
Who's the president, Val?
My brother just know the name.
The name, who's the name?
Spello.
Spello, please come to the people. We don't know you. We've been here. Can
you show your face?
Is it Nyanga? Is it a
Nyanga? Term of office.
The other thing.
Is it a year or is it, what is Nyanga in Zulu?
Unyaka.
That Iapela. We want to see your face.
When is going to be the next election?
No, the next
September.
elections, they're supposed to sit I think at the end of August.
Or
at the end
September.
of July, somewhere there. According to the university now, they're saying the president must be able to proclaim elections by end of August or July, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they must proclaim.
I had a
proclaim
follow-up
elections
question. I wanted to know. So, if you want to be a part of the SRC, right? You cannot
go as an individual.
Yeah, you cannot go for the campaigns and all of that if you are not affiliated with a political party.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's like that because it's only when you submit as an organization, an affiliated structure. Oh, that's why
So different from college.
Yeah, that's why MK did not participate in elections last year, because they were not affiliated. So even members of MK, even if they wish to go and participate last year, they wouldn't. Hence why
They are
they
not
ended up
recognized,
endorsing that we must vote for the corrupt Pasma.
So it
So
was
how can they get to be their own standing political?
I think
They
they
are
are
now.
now.
They are
They are
affiliated.
now.
They are going to
Affiliated,
contest now. You are going to see them.
That's good.
They are fetching their votes.
We need something new.
That's
Maybe
your
we
bad.
can.
But
need
don't,
something
don't you
new.
think it's very
you
important
need
in order for
something new.
people to actually vote for you? They must recognize you. They must see you.
You see them.
Who's
Who's the
We've seen
president?
them. I think. Now I don't know personally. From me, I think I saw them
Where?
this year. In the beginning of the year when everything
No, I'm not
was
talking
happening.
about like seeing people wearing just their
No, I'm
regalia.
not saying the t-shirts.
How did you
and
see
whatnot.
them?
I feel like I saw a few. Okay, with the t-shirts.
Yeah, you saw the t-shirt. not
But
with
like,
them.
but like I saw like some MK. Well, those people that are with the MK helping some students. At some point I think I saw when everything was all said and done, students were placed and everything was quiet. There was still a few number of students, I think like 10 or 15, that were still sleeping in front of the institution's gate, and they were there helping them, giving like
But a
donations.
lot of
You know-
political parties played a role
Yes.
in them.
No, like
so
you said, it was way better,
perhaps
But
you
like
might have
we've never
not
like for
seen that
example
one.
we didn't see SASCO when all of that
But
was
I saw
happening.
AFF.
No, they were there,
Nicely.
Nambo. Like
Really?
they almost all the political parties, like they played a
Like,
huge role during
they play a huge role. So that's not the way you should determine perhaps a political party that you need to
That you trust with your
to
vote.
trust with your vote, because I can work and go and assist students and do all of those things. Of course, the first requirement of you being the SRC, you must be student-centered and have the love of the students, However, you must also be able to engage on boardrooms, because we are going to put you there that just because when you love being around students, and then after that you are not able to engage on matters.
But remember, us as
So-
the people who are voting, we are not in the boardrooms. We
How-
are
how do we
outside.
know?
Yes.
So how do we know that you will be able to stand for us in the board? Because
Yes.
when you stand in front of us, you have the capacity for
And
us to say we can put you in a board.
And it's not like
so
the
how do
parliament
you know
is-
now? Let me come to the fact that how do you know? You know how I present myself here, how I aspire leadership when I'm speaking right now. You can already confirm that this person, it can be able to articulate the stance of the students and also ensure that we advocate for the aspirations of the students. But
No, I don't
if
think
a
it's the
person
same case.
you can't even. I want to go to this point. There are people who just say, no, I'm going for MK just because I'm from KZN.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm from KZN, but I would never go for MK because I've no.
But
You must have at least that's what you call ability to represent the students, in that capacity to represent and speak on behalf of the students.
I wanna
not just to say Kwaza and then no, that's
Kwaza
one
God,
leadership.
I
that's not-
want to disagree with you on that point about
which one?
articulation. Kuti, when you come here, articulation and all that, but because you can articulate yourself at the end of the day, but
But
still
you're thinking, man,
lack that decisive, like very
Leadership.
critical, decisive thinking, whereby
Yes,
So
you are
it's-
very correct.
I don't think it's
You are very correct. In these spaces, you meet people with different characteristics. Ne? I might have a characteristic of like thinking and be the thinking tank, and then when it comes to articulating my
It's a
views,
problem.
and then I can't articulate my views.
Do you-
So ngifuna ukuyaphi ke? Ngifuna ukukutheni, it's fine. Now nalo possess their own qualities of being leadership, because there are some things even myself I cannot do. Yabo? So now ile ngisho ukuthi the one of articulating your views, because you can think, but if you can't articulate, then it's a problem. I'm not saying if you can articulate and you cannot think, then we are fit. No, we are not fit. But you must be able to articulate after all, because you are going to sit in boardrooms and sit with the management. People take decisions right in front of you, decisions that are going to affect students. When you go outside to the students, you don't know what to say. You are saying, I know the university has better, but you never engaged on boardrooms.
in that conversation.
So we need people who are going to speak on boardrooms, engage on boardrooms, and be vocal.
but with the intentional purposes, because
Yes, and
if you can, because I can articulate myself at the end of the day and
you
have
must
my
you must also have something to represent, because the EFF is clear. The EFF Youth Command, it has something that it represents, that is guiding the EFF Youth Command to say, us, these are the non-negotiable things that we can never do. I mean, that we can never actually negotiate or mhlampe siphikisane nawo okanye si-engage ngawo. We know we want free quality education. That's all. It's guiding whatever we are doing. That's why we are even say, I know down with NSFAS, we just want free education. All of these things, all of these issues are just here to reprimand us from getting there. But all of the issues that we are confronting, we just want to ensure that we reach our generational mission. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but in the nearest future, we're going to acquire free quality, well-resourced and decolonized education in our lifetime.
I had a question that is somewhat not related to this conversation that we're having now. But earlier when we started our chat, we were talking about nepotism, right? We touched on nepotism. And I'm sitting here, I'm remembering something that I experienced in person where the SRC came to select housing committee.
Yeah.
And a lot of nepotism took place there, where I don't know, that whole thing was never announced by the institution. It was just announced here by the management here
I
to
saw
say
the post also
to
on the
say this is what's happened. It was like, please come downstairs, the SRC is here, and it looked like there were people that knew about that before that message came.
prepared.
Even njalo.
And what happened is that the red t-shirts showed up in numbers.
Yes.
Right? I'm sorry, I have to do this
No, it's
because
not.
I want
No,
to
it's fine,
understand.
it's fine.
Right?
Going to
The
respond.
red t-shirts showed up in numbers.
I think it dominated.
It was the only one.
Yeah.
And what I understand, or what I understood from the portfolio that they were reading, because I literally just went there to be a journalist, and I listened to the portfolio and the requirements of you being in the house committee, right? And one of the requirements was that the individuals should not be affiliated with any political party for them to be in the thing. And the red t-shirts showed up with their cute
Caps.
star caps.
This one.
And when a position was put up, in that time of Siavota and whatnot, they came knowing what is happening, and then everybody else came as individuals. Every time Magtiwa chairperson, they're like, yeah, we're putting this name, and then they all pick up their hands as a group, and thus they literally filled the whole house committee as the EFFs. So now I want to know, like, what is your chat about nepotism, and how do you as EFF members handle that in your own political party? Because I believe it's taking place.
No, but it happened.
No, may I respond to that? Ne? I would say that was not nepotism.
What was
you know
it?
why? It was just having information prior everything happens. It is the responsibility of the local SRC to ascertain that they have house committee in all the residences. So the LSRC housing committee, the housing committee, was the one who was responsible in terms of alerting the students that we are coming. So actually, they alert the manager. Then the manager responds, or the resident's parent, if there's a resident parent, but we are coming as the LSRC to come and elect to facilitate the election of the new house committee.
Yes.
So obviously, when you are in a political space, obviously that information is going to come first to you to say, the LSRC, and even for all notice, the LSRC is led by Pasma. So where's nepotism?
I know that, yeah.
So there's no nepotism there. It's just the EFF, the members of the EFF Youth Command was aware before everything happens, and they then came with they mobilized each other to come and vote for the people whom they thought they
But-
thought they are
Can
candidate.
I
Can I say
quickly
something?
do-
I'm even shocked that they said it's one of the policies ukuthi you must not be affiliated
Yes.
in any political
It was
structure.
Oh,
they
after-
read it
no.
on the document. They
Yeah,
read it on
you
the
know-
Can
By the
I
they
wait?
create-
Can I
they
just do
create-
this? I'm
they
No,
create
sorry.
their-
for something
own-
practically, ne?
Can
You
I-
must just go to their page or WhatsApp group or find someone on WhatsApp group and check our house committees, the members
Yes.
of all these residents, and see ukuthi who got the majority.
I
there.
just quickly wanna do this. This is part of my job
Okay.
to state facts, right?
Okay.
And I want to just give a brief definition of what nepotism is.
Okay. Sure.
So nepotism is the act of showing favoritism to relatives or close friends, especially in the context of hiring or promotion within organizations, regardless of their qualifications or merit.
Okay.
Right? So now for me to say that that act was nepotism, if I release information, I get you say that they got the information beforehand and then everybody else got the information. Is that not nepotism? If I tell you first, or oh, by the way, this is
But,
what's happening.
but the SRC
My
never
sister.
told the EFFSC that
My
it is-
sister.
They
Let me-
actually they send out a commute from the central from the local SRC to that particular res. The manager whatsoever they release a post. In fact, they do it a day before because they want to actually have those old portfolios covered by the members of their
But how come that-
political organization. You see, when were you were told that there's gonna be a house committee? That is-
The day
Come
before.
downstairs, no.
Exactly.
Come downstairs.
I think that day.
the very day when they were probably
yeah.
coming up the escalator,
said-
I said to her, come downstairs.
Apparently, the
Then how did
EFFC
they
head rise
go-
was defending.
So how
Because we saw it's a trend.
Okay.
In LMJ,
My sister, can I
all
just
of the
ask one
portfolios
question?
Except the chairperson,
So-
it's Pasma.
So we
Yabo,
are
kanjalo,
saying.
kanjalo.
So we are saying. Pasma, LSRC are favorites of the EFF.
no,
Or
please.
the EFF are
I want
favorites
you.
of Pasma.
I want you to
Because-
hear. I want you to hear what I am saying. I get it now. He's saying that this thing that I witnessed here is something that also happened at other residences.
Yes.
I was not
In all
at
of
other
them.
residences,
Yes, it's
right?
fine, yeah.
And the dominancy in other residences is what Pasma,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Also, as part of the SRC, there are EFF members in the SRC, right? There
Not
are
on the local.
Pasma. So
But
if,
the
even if they're
deputy
occupying one
president.
seat, even if it's one
Yeah.
seat, they are there, right? So when the meetings are held, those people are present, right? So if we decide now in our meeting and I say we are releasing whatever on the 15th and we are talking on the 10th, and when immediately on the 10th you say prepare yourself, this is what's happening on the 15th, and then only on the 15th the rest of the institution hears about
Gets
this.
to know
Is
about
that
it.
not nepotism?
No, my sister, once again, you know how the SRC operates. I said there's a central SRC, there's a local SRC. The central SRC communicates bona bebodwa. They also do a group bebonke behlangene. I think so. Ukuthi banayo. But programs the central SRC, programs the central SRC akuwona wa local. So whatever happens down there, the local SRC themselves, they are the one who communicate amongst each other. And there's not even a single member in the local SRC. The central SRC doesn't enter anywhere in the
campuses.
business of the
Yeah.
local SRC because
So the
local
campuses are
SRC
controlled
deals
by
with
the local.
operational matters. The central SRC deals with policy making and sitting on strategic meetings like MENCOM, SRC, and also
Can I-
council and all of those
Can I
things.
ask you something?
So
Let him finish. Let him
okay.
finish.
So what am I trying to imply with that is that the central SRC was not informed. You know, perhaps those who are close to those comrades of the local SRC might have.
That's what I'm
that
trying to say.
information,
I'm
you
not
know.
even talking about
But-
the. I'm talking
No, I
about
was trying-
local. You understand?
Yes, I was trying.
So
No, I was
the
trying
EFF
to explain
just
to
to
you,
answer
Uti,
the question simple, the
EFF is
EFFSC
not
was
part of
never
the
alleged.
local SRC.
Okay.
So the
So-
central SRC, we only have got seat in the central SRC,
Not in the local.
not in the
No,
local. All
it's
the locals,
all
it's
led
Pasma
by
members.
Pasma.
So all these elections,
even
committee
even
elections
the-
that we
even-
sit,
even-
we are not informed. Even like for example in my residence, they just came the day before and said no, tomorrow we are coming, and they did not come. They said another day, I know tomorrow we are coming. they came late. And then Mabefika, already they've got plan.
They've got people that they know who's going for chairperson, who's going for what.
So, but now what I want to understand then is that do you think that whole entire situation that I just mentioned, do you think that election was fair towards the other the other students that just participated in that individually? Do you think it was fair to them that you're not supposed to be affiliated, but the affiliation shows
I'm
up
shocked.
in
That's why I'm saying I'm shocked. In my own they never mentioned
they're supporting one another about something that nobody knew about until the minute when everybody was told
You know
to come
when they
downstairs.
use that police, it is when they see that they are being outnumbered.
Yes.
That is when you see in my own res, they'd never even mentioned that.
And
They never
it's
even
actually
read
not
the
a police.
policies.
It's just
Because
guidelines
they
that
knew
themselves
there's
they
no
design.
EFFC around.
They just design guidelines to say when we come to this residence, this was
So
going to
with
happen.
them, they are
And
trying
if
to secure
they will
those
remove that
proposals
one.
for themselves.
If they see what no, we are underneath, then they remove that one. No, this is how we're going to operate. Then when they come to another one, this is how we are operating. All of those things.
Guys, then I
Before-
think tell students or like guys, when we're doing these things, please don't participate. Tell the other students, or you know what, if you are not passionate about politics, don't participate in these things, because at the end of the day, we're gonna show up as the beef of Pasma and EFF. You won't stand a chance, because these things, they break people's I don't know
The people
they
already
break,
know.
because some people go there because they want, remember, the things that you do in university follow you all the way throughout your life. They will determine your leadership skills based on which social groups you joined, and some people join for those reasons, to say I want said company to see that I have good leadership skills, and the only way for me to determine this is if I join the house committee and be a chairperson. But now, since EFF and Pasma are fighting, and
They're caught in the
I
middle.
only have 3 friends that can vouch for me when
Yes.
voting. Now nothing is
While
fair, because
EFF
everybody,
is-
you understand?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a
an
question I think
election.
you should ask if
that's
your friends
that's
like
a
you.
nature of election. When you are going to elections, you ought to go and lobby. No one is going to feel sorry for you. That's what.
How do you lobby in 30
Mapalala,
seconds?
you
How
know,
do you lobby in 30
what they
seconds?
said is
Listen.
you are not supposed to actually participate if you are affiliated with them.
Yes.
Hey,
Put it like that, brother, because
so,
they say
you know,
that.
so
What you must know is that even if
from
you
the
don't
first place,
participate,
the
what is going to
Pasma was
happen,
not supposed to
there was going
participate even now.
Because the
elections are going
rules,
to cease.
You
according
guys-
to the portfolios of the seats, it said that individuals must be individuals, not be affiliated with any political party.
Okay.
Was the rule they
For the
stated.
sake that
those
you and you
guys,
saw
their
the
own
EFF,
rules that
for
they
the sake that you
create.
saw when the EFF YC members they participating. I don't know how you saw with their members. You said they were wearing
The heads,
caps.
the heads, and
Pasma members also they wear the caps.
This
No,
one is
This is just
even
a-
no,
ANC
I'm
wears
not.
this
No,
one.
okay.
You
hey.
see?
No,
Okay,
it was-
it's fine. I know what you
We
say.
know how. Okay, let me just say this.
So when
We
you kind
know
of
how
go
to
into a
spot.
political structure against
Yes,
each other,
I get. It was not the other
It was-
part. Was
okay,
not. It
comrades,
was the
it was
political
never fair for
structure
the students. Let's just
against
say that.
individuals.
Ibambe,
Okay,
comrades.
so
was- it
now
was never
now
fair
you've
for the
learned a lesson
students.
that
Comrades,
political
comrades.
All thanks
being
to Pasma.
politically
You know, they are
associated is
cooking
very
Comrades.
important.
those ones.
We must be
But-
politically orientated.
Honorable member, because I
But
can see.
Can I just say one last thing?
Eh.
But at the end of the day, everything it's not fair for the students. Ne?
That's what
Because
I'm
there are
getting
students that will actually come to the university, ukuthi they will try to make their lives better. They seek success, but then they get caught up in between of like politics and whatsoever. For an example, if the SRC is failing the students, whereby it's the same students that are actually voting for the SRC, we are born you are stealing from the poor of the poorest.
Hey.
It means me, if I'm coming from a background whereby ngiphila nogogo siphila ngegrant, when are you stealing from? In fact, you are killing me. And if it happens, you're not advocating for me, you are not representing me, putting totally funding. It means when you are taking my future away,
Yes.
and you are leading me putting failing.
That's true,
Because
sure.
if I don't have funding, I will sleep hungry. I will go and attend classes hungry. I fail, I get excluded financial, excluded arrest, excluded escolate, and I will need to appeal. And the appeal is it's the same SRC that stole from me.
Things that could have been
They are part of
avoided.
that committee as appeals. And then afterwards, I need to pay a half of imali engiyikolote esikolweni. If I owe 100,000, I need to pay 50%. Yabo, which is 50,000. Ngizoyithatha hapo ebhayisi kuphila nge-social grant or ngemali yagogo ekhaya. Uyabona? So, guys, I wish like this thing can be like explained even more further, and each and every leadership zibone ukuthi it's wrong at the end of the day.
No, let's try.
It's a pity ukuthi we are dealing with comrades ezindala. Uyabona that actually like they don't care. They're like studying masters. They don't care about undergrads anymore. Uyabo?
You know,
So
the
whenever
time
they were like,
the time students
Honorable.
understand that
Honorable, thank you so
my
much.
brother.
I understand. No, the episode has finished. Finish,
but-
comrades.
That's
I
the one
think
thing
you must
suppressed.
have one of
Yes.
like you political members, and also try to invite the SRC and see if bazovumana. If they don't want to, it means they are hiding something.
I'm
from
extending
the public or from the
an
students.
invitation to SRC personally and also from the student podcast. Also, Pasma, if you wanna come, please come through. Now it's us. If you wanna come, please come through, because we trying to change the student
Please
world
also call
one
MK.
step at a time. Also now MK.
Yes. I want to see something.
MK. So yeah, thank you so much guys for tuning into the Number One Student Podcast. Then I say, and also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also tell us what you think about this episode. But from other than that, Aisha Gabriel, adios. Next week, same time, same place. Sharp.
Salute.